OpenAI, the trailblazing artificial intelligence company behind ChatGPT, is entering a critical new phase in its evolution, one that may reshape not just its future, but the AI landscape at large. A bold and somewhat surprising shift is underway, marked by a massive injection of capital and strategic support from Japan's SoftBank, while its longtime partner Microsoft watches carefully from the wings. The balance of influence and power around OpenAI is subtly, but undeniably changing. At the center of this shakeup lies the Stargate Project, a mammoth, multi-billion-dollar plan to build the world's largest AI-focused data center infrastructure in the United States. It's no ordinary business development. In fact, industry insiders are already comparing it to the Manhattan Project in terms of scope, scale, and its potential to redefine technology. The plan, backed by SoftBank, OpenAI, Oracle, and the investment firm MGX, aims to raise up to $500 billion by the year 2029. The goal is to create a sovereign, American-based supercomputing infrastructure that can fuel the next era of AI innovation. SoftBank's CEO, Masayoshi Son, known for his audacious bets on tech futures, will chair the Stargate initiative. For Son, this isn't just a business play, it's a legacy move. His previous high-profile investments through the Vision Fund had mixed results, but he appears determined to position SoftBank as a cornerstone player in the future of artificial intelligence. His confidence in OpenAI suggests a level of trust and vision alignment that could eventually rival, if not eclipse, the role Microsoft has played in OpenAI's journey thus far. To understand the gravity of this shift, it's important to revisit OpenAI's origins. Founded in 2015 as a nonprofit by Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and others, OpenAI was originally intended to act as a counterbalance to profit-driven AI development. Its mission was to ensure artificial general intelligence, AGI, benefited all of humanity. That lofty goal hasn't disappeared, but OpenAI's transformation into a capped profit public benefit corporation in 2019 was a pivotal moment. It allowed the company to accept billions in investment capital while keeping its mission central, but it also opened the door to partnerships like the one with Microsoft. Microsoft came in strong in 2019 with a $1 billion investment. In the years that followed, that partnership blossomed. Microsoft became the exclusive provider of OpenAI's cloud services, integrating the GPT models into products like Bing, Office 365, and Azure. By 2023, Microsoft had reportedly invested over $13 billion in OpenAI. The collaboration paid off handsomely for both sides. OpenAI got the infrastructure it needed to scale, and Microsoft got a powerful technological edge in the AI arms race. But success often breeds complexity. As OpenAI's valuation surged and its influence grew, internal and external pressures mounted. Concerns about openness, transparency, and governance intensified. Elon Musk, who had walked away from the company years ago, filed a lawsuit against OpenAI earlier this year, accusing it of straying from its founding principles and cozying up too closely to corporate interests. The restructuring into a public benefit corporation had far-reaching implications, giving OpenAI more control over its destiny, but also raising questions about accountability. Now, with SoftBank entering the picture in such a big way, the dynamics have shifted yet again. Sources close to the matter suggest SoftBank could invest as much as $40 billion in OpenAI and its broader infrastructure ecosystem. That kind of money doesn't just buy influence, it changes the gravitational center of the organization. It signals to the market that OpenAI may be looking to diversify its dependencies, moving away from a single dominant partner like Microsoft and toward a more distributed base of support. This doesn't mean Microsoft is being pushed out, at least not in the near term. In fact, OpenAI has committed to increasing its use of Microsoft data centers over the next few years, with expenditures expected to grow from $13 billion in 2025 to $28 billion by 2028. But the writing is on the wall. OpenAI's internal forecasts suggest that by 2030, over 75% of its compute needs could be fulfilled by the Stargate infrastructure. That represents a monumental shift, one that could reduce OpenAI's reliance on Microsoft's Azure in favor of its own sovereign compute environment, powered in part by SoftBank's funding and Oracle's data management capabilities. Naturally, Microsoft isn't standing still. Sources indicate the company is actively renegotiating aspects of its agreement with OpenAI. With the original deal granting access to OpenAI's technologies until 2030, Microsoft is seeking to extend that window or perhaps exchange it for more equity or influence. The tech giant's recent AI announcements and its continued integration of GPT models into enterprise products suggest it's still heavily invested in the relationship. But the tone has changed. It's no longer just a partnership, it's a balancing act. All of this is happening as OpenAI's financial trajectory continues to soar. In 2024, the company posted an estimated $3.7 billion in revenue. Projections for 2025 suggest that number could exceed $12.5 billion. Some investors are even forecasting revenue as high as $28 billion by 2026. Driven by increased enterprise adoption, international expansion, and premium offerings on platforms like ChatGPT. Just recently, OpenAI reported over 400 million weekly active users for its consumer chatbot, a staggering number that puts it among the most used digital platforms in the world. And yet, there are headwinds. The Stargate Project, while visionary, is also capital-intensive and politically fraught. Recent reports indicate that rising tariffs and the unpredictability of construction and permitting in the U.S. have already delayed parts of the project. Financiers are nervous. While SoftBank has the deep pockets and the appetite for risk, infrastructure projects of this scale rarely go smoothly. Delays could set back OpenAI's plans to reduce its reliance on Microsoft or push back its timeline for rolling out future models like GPT-5 or GPT-6. Meanwhile, the legal battle with Elon Musk looms large. His accusations strike at the heart of OpenAI's identity, claiming it has betrayed its founding mission in favor of profit. While OpenAI's leadership has denied wrongdoing and maintains that its PBC structure still upholds its ethical commitments, the lawsuit could introduce regulatory scrutiny or public skepticism that slows its momentum. Amid all this, the rest of the AI world is watching with intense interest. Google, Meta, Anthropic, xAI, and other competitors are all jostling for dominance in the AI race. Each is backed by billions in capital, cutting-edge research teams, and their own strategic visions. But OpenAI has something few others possess: a blend of first-mover advantage, name recognition, and arguably the most advanced large language models available to the public today. Its challenge now is to maintain that lead without becoming paralyzed by its own ambition. The company must juggle intense growth, a shifting partnership landscape, and the pressures of global infrastructure development, all while staying true to a mission that promised to prioritize humanity above shareholder value. What comes next will be shaped as much by politics and perception as by code and compute. If the Stargate project succeeds, it could become a model for sovereign AI development in the West, a counterweight to China's state-backed initiatives. It would give OpenAI control over the very hardware and silicon that powers its intelligence, enabling faster innovation and more secure systems. But if it stumbles, it could open the door for rivals to catch up, or for regulators to step in. Microsoft, for its part, must now decide whether to double down on OpenAI or begin diversifying its own AI investments further. Already, it has backed startups like Inflection AI and is rumored to be developing in-house alternatives to OpenAI's models. It may soon face a future where OpenAI is less dependent on its infrastructure and more aligned with new players like SoftBank and Oracle. For SoftBank, this is a moment of redemption and reinvention. After a mixed track record with WeWork and other high-profile bets, Sun's pivot toward AI as a long-term growth engine could restore his reputation as a visionary investor. If OpenAI's next phase succeeds, SoftBank will be a key reason why. In many ways, this is more than just a corporate restructuring or financial pivot. It's a statement about the future of artificial intelligence. Who will control it, who will profit from it, and how it will be built. OpenAI's choices, its partners, its infrastructure, its governance, will shape how the technology evolves and how society interacts with it in the decades to come. One thing is clear: the world's most powerful AI company is no longer content with riding shotgun. It's building its own vehicle, mapping its own road, and deciding who gets to ride along. Whether that journey leads to greater public good or a more complicated entanglement of corporate interests remains to be seen. But for now, with SoftBank at its side and Microsoft watching closely, OpenAI is accelerating into a future that promises to be just as unpredictable as the technology it's creating.